You see, you need to understand something. One of the reasons why people are so miserable is that they were made for God. And one of the reasons why even true believers sometimes fall into misery is because they begin to live for themselves and do not realize they were made for God. Every fiber of my being, every beat of my heart, every thought of my mind is for God. And to the degree that it is for God, I will have joy. You were made for Him. To breathe, you were given breath only to return it to Him in praise. Your heart beats only for Him. And you will only, as Augustine said, find peace and contentment in life in giving yourself to Him. I love to make things. I make furniture. I love to make bows and arrows that you shoot and hunt with and do target with. I love that kind of thing. And I could bring one of my bows here today, and it would be a fine thing to use to shoot an arrow, but you can't play a song on it. To the same degree, I can't take the guitar that was here last night and put an arrow in it, pull back and draw and expect to hit a target. Guitars are made for one thing, bows are made for another. And they only find true purpose when they're used for the thing they were made for. In the same degree, you were not made for chasing this world. You were not made for looking like this world. You were not made for loving this world. You were made for God. And you will be restless until you find yourself found by Him. Let me give you another example. Christians in America and in Western Europe today. Real Christians. We are the wealthiest, most protected group of Christians on the face of the earth and in the history of Christianity. And yet you go into all these Christian bookstores and you find out that half the books are written about how miserable we are. Our emotional needs, our financial needs, our spiritual needs. We are the wealthiest, most protected group of Christians in the history of Christianity, and yet we seem to be the most needy and most miserable. And why is that? I will tell you. We are miserable and needy for the same reason that Jesus Christ was never those things. He was persecuted, He was poor, He was many things, but He said, I have food to eat that you know not of. He was always full. For the same reason that we are always empty. He was full because He had food to eat that we know not of, and that was doing the will of the Father. We are empty because for the most part we are about doing our own will instead of the will of the Father. If I ever see a person who claims to know Christ and there is evidence in their life that they have truly been converted and yet they're walking around telling me they're empty, I just go and tell them, you are empty because you are not about doing the will of the Father. And then they'll say to me, but you don't understand the trials in my life. I said, in the midst of the trials, do the will of the Father and you'll be full. Trials are not designed to make us self-centered and turn in to ourselves to try to fix our own need. There's no excuse